Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday evening to you. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Wentz with you. I appreciate you. Lots to talk about in this show weather-wise. We've obviously seen the change from summer to fall. That's evident. And I think we have a chance of some frost this week. I'll let you know when. We're expecting some of the frost. We'll talk about the longer range forecast. Where do we go from here? What does next weekend look like as we start to plan things out? We're even going to go beyond that. We're going to go pretty far in the forecast here. I'm looking at some model trends 15 days out, some stuff to talk to you about, okay? So we'll get to our sponsors. First, want to welcome our early birds here. We've got Susan. Good evening to you. Don Z, thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel. If you hear noise in the background, our cat decided to come downstairs and is playing with some kid's toy. So that is hitting all sorts of, I don't know what he's doing in there. That's fine, though. Wendy, hello. Thanks for coming on early here tonight. Jeff, hello. Jeff loves this cool weather, he says. Linda, hello to you. Reed says, hoping for good weather tomorrow. Go do some fall activities with your 2-year-old. Reed, we've got a 3-year-old in the house, so I know how that is. It should be good to get outside. We're going to be just fine tomorrow, Reed, so you'll be okay. Just grab a jacket. It is going to be a chilly start tomorrow. Jan says frost, snow. Colleen, we'll certainly get to the forecast here. I want to thank our sponsors first. They keep things free, which is great. We'll start at the bottom this time. Last but not least, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. They've got new specials on Jeeps right now, and they've got brand new Jeeps on the lot. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They make car buying fun. Family-owned business in Valpo. Very awesome folks over there. St. Jude House is our nonprofit. If you haven't heard of them, they deal around the topic of domestic violence, which isn't something pretty, right? No one likes to talk about that. But the truth is a lot of people are dealing with that in their household, unfortunately. And what they do is they help meet people. They have a mobile advocacy program where they'll meet people that need help wherever they could possibly meet, wherever they want, right? And they don't come in and say, here's what we can do for you. They say, what can we do for you? And they make that happen. They are working tirelessly around the clock, making good things happen to people dealing with that around Northwest Indiana. So please support them. The website, stjudehouse.org. If there's anyone that you know dealing with that, please send them to that website. All right. And again, thank you for everyone that turned out to the event at the Lake County Fairgrounds last week. They had a good family fun event on Thursday. And a couple of you were glad you went. It's great to take the kids. You had good food as well. So that was that. PSA, our public service adjusters in Northwest Indiana. What is public service adjusting, you wonder? Sounds weird, right? And they've got a badge for a thing or for a logo on there. If you just check their website, they've got 5-star reviews across the board. Everyone raves about them. They deal with insurance claims. So if you have an insurance claim on your property, whatever it happens to be, it's not fun dealing with insurance company, and you don't have to with them. What you do is you reach out to PSA, Public Service Adjusting. They're all licensed, insured, and local in Northwest Indiana. You reach out to them with whatever your claim is, and then they will go between themselves and your insurance provider for everything. They handle everything in the process. They'll get you more money than you'd originally get from your insurance company. They do it all the time. And again, 5-star reviews across the board for the work that they do. It's publicserviceadjusting.com. Last but not least, Tiger Plumbing, our favorite area plumbers. They're just so awesome to work with, and a lot of you have used them. They come out for free, which is great, especially in this economy. Everything's so stinking expensive right now, and they come out for free. They're offering $30 off a service customers, so you can just let them know Region Weather sent you. You get $30 off automatically. If you have something dripping or leaking or toilet won't flush or something like that, they'll deal with it all. They install new faucets as well. They do great work over Tiger Plumbing. It's tigerplumbing.net. All right, let's get to the forecast. Here's me in this weekend. So I filled in on the morning show. So I was up at 3 a.m. I have not been to bed since, so I may be a little loopy, but we're going to get some good sleep after this, and I'm excited for that. So we're a little early, so I can get an early bedtime. I'm getting older here, but it has been a very, very long Sunday. So there's that. Weather-wise, boy, what a difference this weekend. You can see on the satellite here the big picture change that we've had in the atmosphere over the last couple weeks. We've had a trough or that dip in the jet stream out west. We've had the ridge out east. That is no long. It's where the warmth is, and then it comes down in the east. Really been our weather pattern over the course of the week. We've been stuck with this area of low pressure off towards the north. You see it swirling here. It's not moving out, it's moving back in. And this is a hybrid system, as we talked about in our last post. This is a low pressure from the front that went by 2 days ago, but it's also post-tropical cyclone Philippe, which was a tropical storm and went up into New York, caused all sorts of flooding. Once again, they've had, I think, 6 weekends in a row of flooding and rain in New England. If you think our weather's been rough, which it hasn't, it's been awful in the Northeast, especially on weekends. They haven't had a nice weekend since July. It's been crazy out there. But anyway, that system came north, and what Philippe did was went back into this low pressure, and it's pushing it all back. So there's lots of moisture with this, and you can see it's kind of head cyclonic that keeps. We've had lake effect rain over the course of the last 2 days, mainly in LaPorte County out towards the east, South Bend area. Grand Rapids has been seeing a lot of lake effect rain. But we've had a couple showers around northwest Indiana. Clouds, it's a little area of energy. So that's kicked off some of the clouds. So tonight's not going to be too cold. I don't think we'll have frost issues tonight. And the reason why is because of those clouds. Here are your frost advisories up in the areas of Wisconsin. So they're close. Northern suburbs of Chicago, getting back towards the Rockford area, they'll have some frost tonight. But I don't think we have any here. And the reason why is because we've got lake effect cloudiness still. But we start to lose that as we go into the nighttime tomorrow. And then once again on Wednesday morning, waking up. So I really think waking up Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning, I think we're going to have frost around here. And we highlighted this last week on Sunday night to at least the potential for it. And I do think we'll get there. So just keep that in mind. I don't think there's a chance tonight, but if you have any plants outside, I mean, this is a drill every single year. If there's any plants you have outside that you want to keep, they don't do well with frost, obviously, especially your tropicals. If you have any orange trees or lime trees that are still outside or anything like that, or those tropical plants, the fern plants, whatever those happen to be, bring those inside. I bring them in tonight if you haven't already. Tomorrow night, any plants that are outside are not going to do well in that frost, all right? Especially if we clear out and cool down like I think we will, okay? So keep that in mind. Not tonight, but tomorrow night and then again on Tuesday night. So waking up Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning, we're going to have some pretty chilly air. So when does this head on out? Let me show you this. So these are the heights in the atmosphere. Basically, this coincides with where the cold air is aloft and where the warm air is, okay? So I'm going to take you through time. We're going kind of big picture over the next 10 to 15 days, okay? Just to see this general pattern. Here's our low pressure. The greens, even the oranges, I know that is synonymous with warmer weather. It's not. And on this particular map, that is your cooler air aloft, okay? Here's your hot stuff out towards the west, and it's really not hot. It's warm now. This cool air goes all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So they have some much needed relief. Texas, at one point, Atlanta was chillier than we were this morning. We had the lake effect clouds kind of helping out. But the eastern half of the country is cool. So you can see kind of the combination of that old post-tropical system and this low pressure heading out towards the west keeps this low pressure here through Tuesday. So we've got pretty much the same weather through Tuesday. This general cycle a little bit, so that'll pull some of the lake effect chances away from us. And we ought to have some dry days here, at least tomorrow, which is Columbus Day, and Tuesday as well. By Wednesday, though, we start to bring another system from the west. So you still, I mean, this is Wednesday and the Thursday. We still have this general flow or low pressure aloft just off towards our north. But here comes our next system. This is a really impressive system later this week. This is a true fall-like system that comes in here Thursday and Friday. There's going to be a pretty deep area of low pressure that develops in the plains, and that comes out. And what we'll see is a warm front develop, and I'll show you all this, but we're going to see a classic warm front develop with some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms or heavy rain along it. The warm front will head north as it looks right now. We'll get into the warm sector of this system. There's a chance for severe weather this week, depending on the path of this low. And then we'll see that system go by, and there'll be lots of wind on the backside. So a real decent wind maker with a powerful low pressure later this week certainly gives us something to watch. It'll be a very active week weather-wise. So we start to be under the influence of that Wednesday night and the Thursday. But for sake of this map, what I'm showing you is just that cooler air aloft. Look at this low. This Friday and the Saturday, you've got a powerhouse low. All these lines are isobars, so you see them tightly wrapped there, indicating lots of wind with this, a real deep low pressure. And then what happens is, unfortunately, that comes back in for the weekend once you know it. So that means we'll have a windy weekend next weekend, And it looks like we're going to turn on the lake effect machine more so than what we did with this last system. So we do have some much needed rain on the way, but unfortunately, some of that rain and the shower activity on the backside of the system coincides with next weekend. So if you do have plans next weekend, maybe you wanted to get a Fall Fest in this weekend and you didn't because you thought it was too chilly, you had better odds next weekend. It looks like next weekend's not good as of right now. So that system heads by, another low forms off the East Coast, and we have this general cyclonic flow across the Great Lakes, meaning we stay on the cooler side as we go into the middle part of October. All right. So rainfall wise, I want to show you that, and then we'll go long term. I'll show you this long term real quick, or I'll show that last. That actually goes through November. So we'll talk about that last. Precip wise, this is what we're looking at. Again, here's our low pressure. Yes, there is snow about 250, 300 miles north and east of here in Canada. They're talking anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow with the same system. We're not dealing with that, thankfully, but just know it's getting closer. Notice how everything kind of shifts to the north tomorrow and Tuesday, so we're not dealing with a lot of lake effect rain. We'll start to dry up. But here comes our next system. So in terms of our next chance of rain, I've got it pinned for late Wednesday. I think Wednesday starts dry, and then we bring rain chances in later. This is the warm front out in advance of the cold front, which is here, kind of dragged south, all right? So rain could be heavy at times, and it's going to be kind of slow moving as that warm front lifts north. That's Wednesday night into Thursday. Thursday looks kind of rainy with that warm front around. Eventually, the warm front looks to head north of us. This is the GFS run, which I rarely show, but this is the further south track of the two. The Euro has this low going further north, which introduces us to dry, warm weather temporarily on Thursday night and Friday. And the Euro also introduced a severe weather risk for us. All right, the GFS is further south with this low, so that keeps as we go into Friday. But either way, we're going to start with some rain with that warm front on Thursday. It looks rainy on either model. And then Friday, do we clear up and then bring a line of storms in here? Or do we on Friday instead stay with rain around here? All right, that's going to be the day in question that you'll see changing on your phone apps and stuff like that. But here's what the GFS says on Friday. Pretty strong low pressure down to our south. As long as it passes down to our south, our severe weather threat's pretty low. Again, the Euro's up here in Wisconsin with it, so that would introduce that threat. But either way, we get some good rain on Friday. Friday night football games don't look too good at this point. It doesn't look like we'll have scattered showers. It looks like we'll have widespread rain around here. So just keep that in mind if you have Friday evening plans, whatever that is. And then on the weekend, the low heads by. It's still strong. And instead of a south wind, we've traded it for a north wind. And it looks to be strong. We'll have lots of moisture with this system still in place. So I do see widespread showers and widespread lake effect showers as colder air comes back in Saturday and Sunday as well. Sunday looks to be the better of the 2 days, but it doesn't look great at this point. Both models agree they're off. And this could include areas that don't typically see it with kind of a northeast fetch to it. So Lake County, you may have some lake effect around this weekend as well. It's not going to be the traditional LaPorte County out towards the east, okay? So then that heads up, and once you know it, by the time we start next week, things start to improve, and it does look much quieter next week until another system comes in. This is Friday, October 20th, so it'll take some time till that next system gets here, okay? All right, last thing I want to show you, then we'll open it up to questions. This is an interesting model. I look at it often. I don't usually show it. To me, it's just interesting to look at. It's not always 100% accurate, especially as you go long range. And it goes long range. I mean, this goes all the way through the end of the month, which is crazy. And this shows where it thinks low pressures will be and air masses. So what I turn to this for, it's called the CFS. And this is version 2 of it, but it's the CFS model. It's a global model, and what we're looking at is air masses. So I look at it to say, what are we capable of? What kind of air masses can come down this time of year? And sometimes the modeling is right a week or two out, but we just kind of look at it for trends. So we're going through time here, okay? So here's the cool air we have now. Here's that low pressure. This stuff up here in the pink and purple, that's the real cold stuff, all right? That's when you get below freezing easily and you've got snow with that, okay? So just keep an eye on this. This is Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to kind of baby step it. Here's this low pressure, brings a little sliver of warmth, and then we're back to the chilly air. There you go. See how that cold air kind of dumps on us this weekend? This is next Sunday. This is next Monday. This is the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. Looks like some kind of nice warm up as we go into the next week. the following week, not this week coming up, but the next week after that. And then this is kind of fantasy land, okay? But we're just going to look at trends. This has a real decent cold air mass right there, just in time for Halloween. That would support snow if this were to happen around Halloween. Doesn't mean it's true. We could look at this tomorrow. It would have a big ridge over us, all right? But something to watch. So that's Halloween. And then shortly after that, it has another real cold air mass right 9th and 10th, all right? So just that being said, we've got stuff on the way that we don't want to talk about, okay? Whether we like it or not, it's real close, okay? In some of the modeling starting to pick up on some of those cold air intrusions that would bring some of that stuff that we don't want to talk about quite yet. So I say that just to let you know that it's in the offing. I'm starting to see it show up in the modeling, and it certainly is that time of year. So any nice days we can get from here on out, remember those are bonus days, all right? That's what I got for you tonight. Again, I hope this stuff helps. I hope it's informative to you and you can take it and actually use it as you go forward on your week and kind of know how to plan things out, all right? All right, Jan says, I need to know about rain in Indianapolis area on Saturday. Marching band is is down at the state competition. Okay, Jan, so Saturday in Indianapolis, we're going to have showers around, all right? That system's going to go by. I think the widespread rain will be out because the front will be out. We'll be on the back side, though. And I think we'll have lake effect rain around, so it'll be heaviest up towards our area. But as you get down towards Indianapolis with that cold air aloft, it's going to be very similar to what we had this weekend with this low pressure, especially east of us, where I think we'll have some sunshine, but the sun will heat things up and you'll have like kind of popcorn look to the rain on radar. All right. That's what happens when you have cold air aloft and you get some sun. So I would say at this point on Saturday in Indianapolis, widespread rain would be out, but we'd have scattered showers. So like in my mind, it would be rain and then the sun pops out, and then it rains and the sun pops out, if that makes sense. Okay. So there's that. Tyler says something interesting I found. Let's see here. Let's pull up your comment. I went back through pictures over the last 10 years, and our El Nino winters have been snowier than our La Nina winters. Might be in for a winter. Tyler, that's the general thinking, is that what this, El Nino is going to do is, and again, in my mind, it's not just El Nino or La Nina. There's so many other factors involved in this. But if we were to base it on that, the thought of El Nino is that we have a storm track that put us on the snowier side of things and brings bigger snowstorms through. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't. If we go back to the 40s and study all the El Nino and La Nina years, it'd probably come out 50-50 or maybe 60-40. And those aren't good odds. I mean, every winter's different. We could have a blocking pattern that sets up somewhere that keeps our pattern in hold. We just don't know. We really don't. But looking at El Nino winters, Tyler, it's interesting, and I totally agree with you. We can certainly get some snowy winters. If you just look back at our past couple winters, I mean, 3 or 4 years, we haven't had good winters. We haven't had good lake effect events. A lot of us are happy about that, but some snow lovers, we haven't had real good snowstorms over the last couple of years, on the regular. And the lake effect's been pretty much non-existent. So we'll see what happens. That's the beauty of weather is, we get to watch this play out in real time, and we get to try to forecast things out, 10 to 15 days in advance. That's where the accuracy lies right now in the world of meteorology. So we'll see. Maxwell, that's interesting. Maxwell asks if there's a tornado threat later this week. On the Euro, there'd be lots of shear on Friday. We would be close to the triple point of the storm system. My big question is, will we have enough instability? Temperatures aren't going to be off the chart. Dew points aren't going to be off the chart. It's going to be tough. I could see more of just a severe threat with damaging winds, maybe some hail. Again, that's if the Euro plays out and this low goes north of us. If the GFS wins out, we don't have a severe threat. We might have some rumbles of thunder, but not anything severe. So we'll keep an eye on it for sure, Maxwell, but there is the chance, yeah. And there is a chance for a tornado threat later this week. It's nothing I'm going to post about or anything like that until, we have a good idea. But, if you're asking if there's a chance, there is a chance, yeah. Jan, you're welcome. Iron Jim number 7, you're absolutely welcome. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel. I appreciate the support there. You too, Jan. Susan asks, will we ever get out of this drought? Susan, I think so. I am all of a sudden not concerned about this drought anymore. The latest drought monitor came out last week. It's worse for the state of Indiana. We knew that because we had a fairly dry another week. We had a very dry September around here. August was dry for that matter. But Susan, the pattern that we're getting into has a lot more rain in the forecast. So I am now zero concerned about our drought. I do think we get out of it. And we're going to get some real beneficial rain later this week as well. All right. So hang in there. If some of you have well water, whatever that happens to be, I know that's a big concern when we get in a drought, is you don't want to run out of water. But I'm really not too worried at this point. We've got some good rains coming over the next couple of weeks. Okay. All right, everybody. I appreciate you joining me. I'm going to go get some Z's. All right. So there's that. I'm trying to think what's coming up this week. Not a whole lot in terms of events or anything like that. Just make sure, I know a lot of you have signed up, and I appreciate that. Regionweather.com, you can sign up for, you can just click, subscribe to the inbox or whatever. And I post on there every morning. I'll do a little write-up and a graphic every single morning during the week and on the weekends most of the time too. And that goes right to your inbox. It's non-invasive. We only send usually one a day, sometimes one interesting, but you can get a local weather update written by me in the morning over a cup of coffee for your local weather every single morning. So again, it's regionweather.com. You just hit subscribe to the emails on the right-hand side of the screen, okay? I think that's it. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. Susan, you're welcome. Reed, you're welcome as well. You get some rest too, buddy. Hi, Mary. Good morning, Mark. Good night is what we'll say. And Linda, you're welcome as well, okay? All right, guys, have a wonderful start to your week. A lot of you off tomorrow, perhaps. If you're not, then it'll be nice and quiet on the highways getting to work. Should be pretty nice. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.